Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about something profound and often hidden, a reality many face but seldom discuss. It's the life of a woman with no friends. While society encourages us to find friendships, some women, by choice or circumstance, navigate life without the traditional circle of friends. And though this might seem lonely or isolating to some, I believe it's a journey that can reveal a unique strength, resilience, and sense of self. 1. Embracing solitude. When a woman has no friends, she learns to spend time with the most important person in her life, herself. She learns to enjoy her own company, to sit quietly with her thoughts, and to listen deeply to the voice within. And that, my friends, is a rare skill. How many of us avoid silence, constantly seeking the noise of others? But a woman who has learned to embrace her solitude discovers that within that silence lies strength. Solitude isn't loneliness, it's a space for reflection and growth. Through it, a woman discovers who she truly is, not shaped by the opinions of others, but by her values, her dreams, and her beliefs. She learns that self-acceptance is more valuable than social acceptance, and in that she finds freedom. 2. Finding inner strength. To live without friends is often seen as a weakness or a sign of incompleteness, but I urge you to think differently. A woman with no friends builds her strength from within. She faces challenges head-on because she knows that she alone must stand firm in the face of adversity. This resilience, cultivated in solitude, becomes her shield and her sword. Every time she overcomes a challenge without the shoulder of a friend to lean on, she learns that she has an inner strength that can withstand any storm. And that strength, that silent, unshakable core, is something that can only be built from within. When life tests her, she's ready, not because others are there to support her, but because she knows she can support herself. 3. Valuing true connections. For a woman with no friends, relationships take on a different meaning. She doesn't waste her time on superficial connections because she's learned to value quality over quantity. When she does meet people, she looks for authenticity and depth. She knows the value of real, meaningful connections because she understands that true companionship is a rare treasure, not something to be taken for granted. This woman may not have a vast social circle, but she has a discerning heart. She knows that sometimes one genuine connection is more fulfilling than 100 shallow friendships. And when she finds that one person she can truly trust, she values it with a deep appreciation that only solitude could teach her. 4. Living purposefully. Without the distraction of social obligations or the pressure to keep up appearances, a woman without friends can focus on her passions and purpose. She dedicates her energy to her dreams, goals, and the things that bring her joy and fulfillment. She has the time to pursue her interests fully, to dive deep into her work, hobbies, and creative pursuits. In many ways, her life becomes a reflection of her own desires, not those imposed by others. When she sets out to achieve something, she does it for herself, not for praise or validation. Her goals are rooted in a deep sense of purpose, and every step she takes is driven by her passion and commitment. In this way, she leads a life that is deeply fulfilling, aligned with her purpose, and true to her heart. 5. Becoming her own best friend. Perhaps the greatest gift a woman with no friends receives is the chance to become her own best friend. She learns to love herself in ways that are nurturing, compassionate, and understanding. She learns to speak kindly to herself, to celebrate her successes, and to forgive her mistakes. She becomes the friend she needs, and that bond with herself becomes unbreakable. When others look at her, they might see someone who walks alone. But she knows the truth: she is never truly alone because she has herself. She is a woman who has learned to be her own friend, her own cheerleader, and her own source of joy. And in a world where people often look outside for happiness, she has discovered it within. In closing, so to every woman out there who walks her path without the traditional circle of friends, know this: you are not defined by the number of people around you, but by the strength within you. You are not less because you walk alone. In fact, you are more because you have learned the art of self-reliance. You are a testament to the power of inner strength, to the beauty of self-discovery, and to the fulfillment that comes from a life lived with purpose. Embrace this journey, celebrate your strength, and remember that in every step you take alone, you are building a legacy of resilience, courage, and self-love that no one can ever take away from you. Today I stand before you to discuss a topic that is rarely acknowledged, often misunderstood, and yet profoundly real for many women: the life of a woman with no friends. It's a reality that might seem lonely to some, puzzling to others, and even undesirable by most. But if we look closely, if we take the time to understand, we will find that this is a life built on resilience, self-discovery, and a unique type of strength. Many of us have been taught to believe that friendship is the essence of life, that without a circle of close friends, a woman is incomplete. But I believe this idea is worth examining. Yes, friendships are wonderful. Yes, community is powerful. But there are women who live lives of deep purpose, strength, and fulfillment without the traditional presence of close friends. And today I'd like to take a moment to honor that journey. 1. Embracing solitude as strength. The first thing I want to say to every woman walking this path is that solitude is not a weakness. Far from it. Solitude is a choice, a brave choice. It's a decision to value your own company, to sit with your thoughts, your dreams, and your memories, to let go of the need for external validation, to quiet the noise of expectations, and to just be with yourself. It's easy to surround ourselves with people, to lean on them when times are tough, to laugh and share stories. And those moments are beautiful, but there is something equally powerful about a woman who is able to embrace the silence. She learns to become her own listener, her own cheerleader, her own source of strength. This is a woman who, when she walks through the door after a long day, isn't met with the comfort of a friend. But she knows that ultimately she is her own comfort. She looks around and realizes that her peace is found within herself. She may not have someone to vent to about her daily frustrations, but instead she's learned the art of processing her emotions, of finding calm and strength within her own heart. She learns not to run from the silence, but to embrace it, to find beauty within it. 2, building resilience through self-reliance. For a woman with no friends, every challenge becomes an opportunity to build resilience. When life gets hard, she doesn't have a group of friends to lean on, but she knows that she has herself, and that's enough. There is a certain power in facing life's difficulties alone. When there's no one to hold you up, you discover your inner strength. You become resilient. Not because you want to, but because you have to. Each obstacle, each setback, each lonely night only makes you stronger. It's through these moments that you find courage you didn't know you had, a voice you never knew existed, and a strength that surprises even you. She may not have a friend to call when she's feeling down, but she has her journal, her thoughts, her heart. She learns to talk herself through her pain, to remind herself of her own worth, and to keep going even when the journey feels lonely. And in doing so, she becomes a woman who can stand tall no matter what life throws at her. 3, redefining connection and love. Living a life without friends doesn't mean living a life without connection. In fact, it often leads to a deeper, more meaningful understanding of connection and love. A woman without friends learns to connect with the world in ways that are subtle, quiet, and yet profoundly fulfilling. She finds companionship in a sunset, in the pages of a good book, in the rhythm of her own heartbeat. She learns that connection doesn't always have to come from people. It can come from nature, from art, from spirituality, from self-reflection. She finds love in the small things, the little moments of beauty and peace that many overlook. And in doing so, she builds a connection with the world that is uniquely her own. She learns to appreciate the beauty of a quiet morning, to savor the feeling of a warm cup of tea in her hands, to enjoy the sound of her favorite music filling the empty rooms of her home. She finds joy in these simple moments, and through them she learns that connection is not about the number of people around her, but about the depth of her experiences. 4, valuing true companionship. A woman who has lived without friends doesn't take companionship lightly. When she meets people, she seeks depth, authenticity, and kindness. She doesn't waste time on superficial connections because she's learned that real friendship, real companionship is rare and precious. This woman knows what it's like to walk alone, so when she does let someone into her life, she values them deeply. She knows the importance of trust, of loyalty, of genuine care because she's lived without it. She understands the value of a true friend, and she's willing to wait, even if it means being alone a little longer, to find that person. When she finds that rare connection, she treasures it, not as a means to fill a void, but as an addition to her already rich life. She knows that a true friend is a gift, not a necessity, and she treats them with the respect and appreciation they deserve. 5, living a life of purpose. Without the distraction of social gatherings, group chats, or social expectations, A woman with no friends can focus on her purpose. She has the time and energy to pursue her passions fully, to dive deep into her work, her hobbies, her interests. She builds a life that is uniquely hers, guided by her values and her dreams. This woman isn't chasing trends, isn't living for the approval of others. She's creating a life that reflects her true self, a life that is deeply fulfilling and aligned with her purpose. She wakes up each day with a sense of drive, a sense of meaning, because she knows that her life is her own. She's not living for anyone else, she's living for herself, and in that she finds a sense of joy that is unmatched. 6. Becoming her own best friend. Perhaps the greatest gift a woman with no friends receives is the chance to become her own best friend. She learns to love herself in ways that are kind, compassionate, and understanding. She learns to celebrate her successes, to forgive her mistakes, and to be gentle with herself on the days when life feels overwhelming. When others look at her, they might see someone who walks alone, but she knows the truth. She is never truly alone because she has herself. She is a woman who has learned to be her own friend, her own support, and her own source of happiness. And that is a strength that no one can take away. In a world that tells us we need others to be happy, she has discovered that happiness begins within. She doesn't need anyone else to complete her because she is already whole. In closing, so to every woman out there who finds herself walking this path alone, know this: you are not defined by the presence of friends, but by the strength within you. You are not less because you walk alone. In fact, you are more because you have learned the art of self-reliance. Embrace this journey. Celebrate your strength. Be proud of the woman. You are becoming the woman who can stand tall in her solitude, who can find joy in her own company, and who knows that her worth is not dependent on the number of people around her, but on the love she holds for herself. You are a testament to resilience, to courage, and to the incredible power of self-love. Remember, you are not alone. You are surrounded by your own strength, your own beauty, and your own unbreakable spirit. Thank you.